Oh man, I try to avoid making this commentary every year, but this week has actually felt like fall for the first time since winter. I have gotten to wear sweatpants, I have been cold outside, or at least chilly. It's felt nice outside, I haven't sweated my butt off every day. I've gotten to wear a hoodie. These all seem like simple things, but in an area where basically from late March until mid-October, it stays in the high 80s and 90s and is just miserable for me temperature-wise. It feels really good to have fall weather, temperatures in the 60s. Now, unfortunately, this is a result of the massive tropical storm that is pounding the West Coast right now and causing evacuations and other problems that are unfortunate. It's still a nice change of pace for EPOS here in the inland. And it's making me feel nostalgic. We just cleaned our house, and fall cleaning is always so much more exciting and enjoyable than spring cleaning. And the house is clean and nice. I've had windows open with some, light overcast air coming in. It's been nice and cool without the air blasting. I've just been feeling really nostalgic. And in that, I wound up playing some Call of Duty World at War. It was actually the Battlefield 5 beta that made me want to play it, because I was using some of the similar weapons that I knew were in World at War, but they felt different. And I was enjoying the Battlefield 5 beta for Conquest, and I might post some of that gameplay up, but I wasn't enjoying Grand Operations, and it still made me just want that kind of arcade feeling World War II shooter, and that's what Call of Duty World at War is. I could have played it on Xbox. It is backwards compatible on Xbox One. I don't know if I still have a disc copy for Xbox, but I figured I might as well boot it up on Steam. It's actually improved since the last time that I played it. The last time I played it, it was 99% terribly hacked or just AFK servers, and that was no fun. There aren't really any vanilla servers. They're all modded, some for fast XP, which I appreciate because your account levels and unlocks do not sync to your Steam account, which is frustrating. But then like this one I got on and was doing really well with was a high jump server. And so it's mostly modded stuff, so I don't get the vanilla experience, but I really didn't want to have to play it on Xbox. So I was okay playing the modded one for now. I might get a VPS or someone to host a VPS with a server to do normal vanilla gameplay on. So if you're interested in that, do let me know in the comments below. But it still gave me a nice memory of that game. I never actually got to put a whole lot of time into World at War. At the time, I wasn't enjoying the change from Call of Duty 4. Call of Duty 4 was just my jam, and I preferred to stick with it. But I did watch a lot of CNNers commentaries of World at War, and I got to watch a lot of general gameplay of it, and my buddy played it a little bit, and every time I've gone back to it and had decent experiences, I've enjoyed the gameplay mechanics. But it kind of brings up something that I consider to be kind of a problem with multiplayer games, especially multiplayer games today, is that when you're trying to go back to them for that sense of nostalgia or for any reason, really, you run into an issue of the game not necessarily being how you left it. And that is definitely the case here with World at War, because there are no vanilla servers, really. It is all modded and hacked, and, games like that, after a few years, kind of deteriorate and either get hacked to all hell, and there's only hacked servers, and there's no real way to play the game anymore without cheats, or a whole bunch of modded servers and just not vanilla experience. And this translates to other games as well when they're when publishers try to keep them updated for competitive play, because unlike, let's say, Halo CE or Halo 2 or even most of Halo 3 really, or Call of Duty 4, those games, even though they had quote-unquote overpowered guns or specific little button glitches or anything like that, those weren't patched out. And once you go back to like Halo CE, they couldn't really have patched it out, but people still enjoyed the game so much, and that just became a legendary part of it. And since it was something everyone knew and could use, aside from maybe the button glitches in Halo 2, or like the Halo 1 pistol, no one really complained about it that much. And then when you go back to it, you can play it and still know what to do and how to use it and things like that. Whereas modern multiplayer games, the meta, the balance, the weapon control, so much of the little details that truly affect how you play are so regularly updated and patched and altered to try to keep up with multiplayer quote-unquote balance or competitive stuff that you leave a game for 6 months and come back to it and it plays totally different. Nothing that you're using works anymore. The same was an issue with Destiny. A game like Destiny makes more sense because it's a living world, it's always changing. But normal, traditional multiplayer games, they're always in a constant state of flux, so it's hard to even develop nostalgia for them because they're constantly changing. You're constantly having to relearn it. You don't have the same muscle memory as you do for older games. I can still pick up Modern Warfare Remastered, and all of my muscle memory from the past 10 years of playing it are still there. I can still do the same drop shots, I can still use the same weapons, I can still sort of do the same quickscopes. They kind of changed the quickscope mechanic a little bit in Modern Warfare Remastered, but for the most part it's the same. All the maps are the same. You know, they made some slight tweaks and they added some guns, but that doesn't detract from my experience. And it's just weird, and it's kind of disappointing that so many games these days are constantly changing the meta, when I loved Call of Duty 4's M16. I didn't love the noob tubes, and same thing with Modern Warfare 2. Didn't love the noob tube and the one-man army stuff, or triple grenade in Call of Duty 4. Like, those were issues, but they only went in waves of people really exploiting them, and as long as you played certain game modes, you could get around it just fine. And I loved the battle rifle in Halo 2. I loved the concept of the button combos in Halo 2. I could never really pull them off intentionally. Sometimes I'd get the double fire going on accident, but that was it. I loved the pistol in Halo ZE. These are memories I want to form with new things and new games, and you can't really. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that games are better for the constant updating process, or do you agree that it makes it harder to kind of develop nostalgia and makes it more difficult to really appreciate the game in the long run because it's always different when you come back to it? Or have you really never thought about this at all and you think I'm a babbling idiot? Let me know in the comments section down below. I'm just feeling a tad bit of nostalgia here, and I'll see you in the next one.